Hey, Faith on Hill. It is Thursday of Holy Week. Now, I was gone for a couple days. I was out of town, spring break, doing some stuff. But Tuesday of Holy Week, Jesus went in and started teaching in the temple, and the religious leaders opposed him and actually plotted to have him arrested, but it wasn't his time yet. So he rebuked them and then left Jerusalem. He went outside of Jerusalem to the Mount of Olives and gave the Mount of Olives discourse, and that's found in the Gospel of Matthew. It's this huge, expansive teaching on kind of everything, the end of the world, all this big stuff. In fact, we studied the book of Matthew a while back, so you can check out our YouTube page, our Spotify, or our Apple Music to find that there. Also, so Jesus gave that teaching, then he went back to Bethany and stayed the night. Now, Wednesday of Holy Week, we don't know what he did. And I've talked about this the last several years, how it's possible Jesus just took a nap, that Jesus was exhausted from the first part of the week and that he knew what was coming, so he was preparing himself physically, getting himself rested so that he could endure what was coming. Maybe he was just spending time with the disciples. It's amazing how people undervalue that. Spending time, having connection, preparing yourself, taking care of yourself physically. We look down on that in so many parts of our culture, even within church culture. I don't think that can be underemphasized, that Jesus took a day and didn't do anything, and that's okay. Then, of course, Thursday, that's today, Jesus had the Last Supper. He gave the disciples communion, which we still observe as Christians. He went to the garden, and the fully human part of Jesus labored in prayer, wrestled with God. Jesus, God the Son, submitted himself to the will of God the Father. Jesus, the human man, submitted himself to the will of God and said, Father, not my will, but yours be done, even though he knew what was coming. And he said, if there's any other way, can it happen that way? And there wasn't. So he said, okay, I'll do it your way. And then, of course, he was arrested. One of Jesus's disciples tried through violence to fight back and protect him. And Jesus said, hey, man, Peter, if you live by the sword, that's how you're going to die. And he healed the wounds that Peter had inflicted on this one guy, Malchus. And then he went willingly with these guys. And over Thursday night, he was beaten, he was mocked, he was spat upon, and he was kept and held illegally as a criminal even though he had done no wrong. And that was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of Holy Week. I'm just here at the church preparing some of our online content for Easter Sunday morning. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., we have our Good Friday service. There is no online version of the Good Friday service, so we will see you there at 7 p.m.